All right. Well, we got about, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Want to knock out this talking metal? We haven't done this in a while.
Let's do it.
Because when was the last time, I noticed somebody last week in the chat room, they actually threw into the chat room, Happy Time with Harry.
Wow, it's been a long time.
We haven't done any Happy Time with Harry for a while, and we haven't done any talking metal for a while, and we haven't done any J.S. Bannerman for a while.
No, we're going to have to get back to the classics.
Sure. So, anyway, just thought we would do some talking metal. You have a episode that you thought might be interesting, or a train?
I haven't heard it, but a fan emailed and said that they did an absolutely horrific interview with Lydia Criss.
Oh, speaking of, and before we get into that.
Yes.
Speaking of fans who email.
Okay.
I was rather amused.
Okay.
By somebody who had emailed, I guess they must have emailed you asking you if the classic metal show is available in its entirety.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere, because he doesn't get to listen.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm looking for the little post here real quick on the Facebook. You put it up there. It just kind of made me laugh when I read it.
On the CMS Facebook?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Trying to go back here real quick to see. But I was kind of chuckled at this at one of our fans, and I'm not going to mention the names.
No.
Because I don't know who posted this. Was it after last week or 2 weeks show? I'm looking real quick here.
I'm looking too. I think it might have been. It was after the podcasts. I think.
Was it before last week's show, or was it after?
It was after.
It was after a week ago?
Yeah, it was like on Monday.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it.
Okay.
A fan of the classic metal show wrote in. Now, where did this email come from? Did this come through the Facebook, or did this?
It actually came to my personal email.
Okay. So this listener says,
yeah.
Hey, guys, is there a place to download the whole show? I love the show, but I can't listen to it live. My wife hates you guys and thinks you are pigs, so I can't listen live when she's home. I use Spreaker and listen in my car, but like to listen to the music as well. Can you help out a loyal listener? My wife. What is it with the wives?
They're fucking prudes.
What is it with the wives?
They're prudes, man.
It's like, I don't like this, so you can't listen.
That's right. Did Chris's ex-wife get remarried already?
I don't like you doing radio, so you can't do it.
That's right.
I love it. You guys are pigs, so I can't listen.
That's right.
I don't...
They control.
I know, but what's up with that? It's just like, what is the fear?
I don't know.
What's the fear? I mean, what is going to happen if he listens to the classic metal show?
Well, what's not going to happen is he's not going to be focused on her.
Okay.
That's just what it is. You're listening to those guys talk bad about women instead of paying attention to me and watching The Notebook with me.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Well, the thing is,
yeah, and
it's been a long time since I've been married.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was divorced in 1980. Let's see, 84. Let's see, 85. I was born or divorced in 1987.
Okay.
So that was let's see, it's in 97, 2007. So it's been 26 years, 25 years?
Sure.
So I haven't been married in 25 years.
Okay.
And I just don't get the whole, I don't like this, so you can't participate.
Yeah, but God forbid you don't like something she's doing and say something about it.
Right.
Then you're just being mean.
So I just had to laugh at that. Hey, guys, where can I find the whole show? I can't listen when she's home.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, man, but we can't help you on that one.
Right.
You can listen on Mondays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's about your only option.
I love it. Let's see here. What is this here? Did Chris's ex-wife remarry already? The wife is wise. Dumper. Maybe he could get headphones.
Yeah.
This is why you don't get married.
Oh, Angel gets more attractive with every post.
I know. She's like one of the most awesome chicks. Look at her. What a cunt. Angel, are you sure you're not a guy? Seriously.
And if you really are a girl, will you marry me? Please?
Tire under a outhouse.
All right.
It's just a hobby like sports, TV, and porn. You do what I do. Tell her this is my time.
See, I used to not want to be that way, but I'm totally like that now.
Jackal says all I ask is for my 6 hours on a Saturday night.
I'm like that now. Anymore, this is what I do. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Leave.
Yeah, pretty much 100% sure I'm not a guy. Well, assuming that the pictures that you have shared with us, I'm 1,000% you're not a guy.
And if you are a guy, I'm willing to fuck a guy.
Wow.
It's that kind of simple.
That's what my snatch tells me, at least.
Wow.
Something about a girl who actually uses the word snatch.
I know.
It's just
hot.
It's very hot. I don't know if I can do the rest of the show.
Now, play the little talking metal bumper. Let's drive forward.
Yes, I know. She's got me so distracted at this point. I am so. It's just so hard for me to believe that she's only 19.
Ugh, I know.
My God. Really?
Well, you know, that's what you get when daddy fucks you, I guess.
Oh, boy. What are you intimating there, Mr. Aiken?
I'm just saying, you know, most broken girls come from daddy banging them or finger popping them or something.
Finger bang. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this.
All right.
Here to bring you some knowledge, it's the Metal Experts! Never in music history have two people been so intelligent. These guys know that Zakk Wylde plays guitar! You gotta be kidding me. Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath? You're yanking my chain, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Britney Spears isn't metal? Man, those guys are brilliant! Here they are, the bastions of knowledge, Professors Mark and John, the Metal Experts!
Your snatch talks.
Wow.
Awesome. I like the fact that there's certain people out there who call me by my first name now.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of Wendells out there.
Isn't that funny?
It is. For 16 years, nobody said Wendell.
Yeah, I know. But all of a sudden now, the people who are the closest now, they call me by my first name.
I know. See, and I'll tell you what's even more funny is if I was ever to mention the nickname that your roommate calls you, that would become your name on the show. And you know I'm right.
Nice.
You know for a fact I'm right.
Right.
That's why I don't do it. But
right. So funny. So funny. I don't know. People are just funny. Who else was calling me that?
Wendell?
Yeah.
Tommy Skio.
Well, yeah, he was the first.
Yeah.
But who was referring to me is that
That's Nader?
No. Somebody in the... Well, yeah, but I've known Don a long time, 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Sure.
But somebody in the chat room who always calls me by my first name, too. Very familiar.
Yeah. You're their bud.
I guess. Just makes me laugh.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get into this Talking Metal. Apparently, the boys at Talking Metal are interviewing Lydia Criss, Peter Criss' former wife.
Right.
So we'll see what these guys have to do, these geniuses of metal.
Hi, this is Lydia Criss, and you're listening to Talking Metal.
Mark Striegel, John Astronomy, the Talking Metal Podcast, coming to you from the Silver Spacecraft. I'm Bud Friendly, and now your hosts, Mark and John.
Mark and John.
As many times as I've heard that, I can't get over it.
I know, the guy just fucking...
I'm Bud Friendly. Oh, yeah? Well, who are you?
Yeah, he sounds like he's licking a stamp while he's saying the words Mark and John.
Mark and John.
Mark and John.
He's almost like what's that guy, J.R. Donnelly?
Yeah.
He introduced Shadow Steel.
Right.
Is that Shadow still doing his
No.
Mad Pod?
Believe me, if he was still doing Pod Talk or whatever that was called.
Mad Pod.
Mad Pod, I'd be all over it.
J.R. Donnelly.
J.R. Donnelly.
So what happened to Shadow? Where is he?
I don't know. He's not doing Mad Pod, though.
Damn it.
I know. I wish he'd come back.
Right.
We had fun with Matt.
Right.
Hi, this is Lydia Criss, and you're listening to Talking Metal.
Mark Striegel, John Astronomy, the Talking Metal Podcast, coming to you from the Silver Spacecraft. I'm Bud Friendly, and now your hosts, Mark and John.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Talking Metal. I'm hanging out here with Mark Striegel and our very special guest, Lydia Criss, my best friend from many years ago. We have hung out and we have just been...
His best friend?
Best friend.
I thought Mark was his best friend.
Dude, this is somebody related to Kiss.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought Mark was his best friend.
Not when there's somebody related to Kiss in the room.
Right.
Ever since I moved to New York City.
I have a little history with Lydia, too, which will...
Holy shit, where's he talking from?
He's pulling that... He needs to pull the string a little tighter on his tin can.
Is he talking over the phone or something?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, my God.
Guys in on, and Lydia, thank you so much for joining us on the Talking Metal Podcast.
It's my pleasure.
Cool. We're going to talk to Lydia all about Sealed with a Kiss. We're going to talk to Lydia all about all things Kiss in just a few minutes. Guys, remember, the best way to support the podcast is to go to talkingmetal.com and use the PayPal donation button to send us in a donation.
God.
Wow, can't even get into the interview without trolling for money.
What I want to know is support the podcast.
Yeah.
And we've asked this question before.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you're spending money on? What?
Well, dude, it's their time.
What?
Their time.
Uploading to iTunes is free.
Yeah, but think of the time that they spend planning this thing and the preparation time.
Recording is free.
Yeah, but dude, it's like $10 a month to host a website.
Support the podcast. Hit the PayPal donation button.
Yeah.
What are you supporting? I mean, really, what are you supporting?
Well, it's like you and I talked, 2 weeks ago about possibly putting the shirts and the hats back on the web.
Yeah, but the thing is we have legitimate expenses because we run a 24/7 station.
But even with that, we can't even get serious enough about that when we have product.
Right.
to give people to actually go the extra mile to actually put it up.
I mean, I've made it clear what the monthly expenses are to keep the CMS radio network running, and it's around $200 a month.
Right.
It's about $80 a month for the high speed internet connection.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The royalty payments.
Right.
The streaming payments.
Sure.
All that's about, and then, obviously the incidentals such as the electric that runs all this stuff.
Sure.
The portion of my electric bill that runs this. So the average cost is around $200 a month.
Right, sure.
And these guys, all they do is upload a podcast once or, maybe 3, maybe 4 times a month to iTunes.
Right.
What are they supporting?
Nothing. Yeah, but they need money to be in these bars.
Well, Michael Butler does the same thing.
I know.
Support the podcast. What are you supporting?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, Michael Butler doesn't even have a website.
Yeah, he's got some kind of free site over there, and, hey, support the podcast. Oh, and then he thanks. And then there's all these people out there who are donating money, and he runs down the list of half a dozen people per show that are donating money.
Why can't we do that?
Because we have dignity.
Yeah, I don't have that much dignity.
I do.
Seriously,
I'll
tell you what.
I have zero interest in panhandling.
Look, I'm going on a trip next week, and I could use a quick $500. So if anybody wants to donate it to me, just PayPal it to me, Chris Aiken at AikenITServices.com. It'll come straight to me, and I promise when I come back in 2 weeks, I will thank you for it. But nothing if it's under $100, I'm not going to thank you. So again, just hit up the PayPal and send me $100 or more.
Right.
I will thank you on the show.
Sure.
Please do.
I just hate the panhandling.
I know, it's so lame.
Especially when basically you're panhandling for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing at all. For subpar interviews.
You can also use the Amazon links, which you guys know all about. And, of course, any song you hear on today's show, you can purchase by going to TalkingMetal.com and using the iTunes links to open your iTunes. And that, of course, helps us. We get kickbacks on these from the vendors like iTunes and Amazon. We're also going to have links up in today's show notes where you can go and purchase Lydia's book, Sealed with a Kiss, which we're going to talk to her about momentarily. Real quick, I wanted to mention there was a little scandal with listening to Talking Metal on Android phones. Somebody on Twitter was complaining about that. And you guys, numerous emails came in. I'm going to read 2 of them. Hi, Mark. In regards to listening to the podcast on Android phone. Oh, okay, because I got headphones on. Yeah. Okay.
Why didn't you just edit that out?
Come on, dude. You can't just edit that out.
I don't edit my show.
You can't edit that out.
It's a podcast. Just edit that out.
Stop it.
Why are people so fucking lazy? I mean, if I had... You and I have had experiences in the past. It doesn't happen often these days.
Right.
But if we've had some really bad audio, it doesn't go out there.
Right.
It's just like, this is not good. Let's just not post it. But that was like a long time ago.
Right.
So why didn't you just edit this out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hi, Mark. In regards to listening to the podcast on Android phones, I use an app called Beyond Pod that is available for free from the Android App Store. It has an ad feed feature that lets you search by podcast name. Cool. So Don from Cleveland sent that one in, and Jason on Facebook actually says, to answer the question, you can listen to Talking Metal on the Android using the free podcast app Stitcher, which we know that we're on. Cool.
Cool, Mark. So let us...
What is with this audio?
It's not so good.
Like he's like talking across the bar. Cool, Mark. Let's get to... I got a secret for you. Spreaker.com. It's free. Spreaker.com.
Yeah.
And you can just go right to Spreaker.com on your Android phone and hit play.
Yeah.
And it'll just play.
Yeah, it just works. That's all it does.
So stupid.
Right.
Introduce Lydia. Lydia, how are you? It's great to have you.
I'm fine. Good seeing you, John and Mark.
Yeah.
It is great to see you again, Lydia. When I first moved to New York, you helped me out tremendously by renting me a room in your apartment. You had a nice apartment. You still have it, same place.
I'm still in the same place.
And,
yes.
How did that help him out tremendously by renting a place?
Because he was homeless.
I know, but usually when somebody says, you helped me out tremendously when I moved to some place because they gave them a place to stay for free.
Look, she's got kiss makeup painted on her ass, so you know they're willing to kiss it.
Right. Because there was no other rooms for rent in the whole New York City.
None.
She had the only room available.
Right. Sure did.
Actually in the neighborhood here where we are tonight, and I just owe you a big thanks for that. So thank you.
It was a pleasure. You were one of my favorite roommates.
and there were other roommates
I know
in
I
there.
drove you crazy, but
I loved being in the city. I loved living with you.
You weren't there much. You just slept there.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Yeah.
And I know before me, wasn't there the guy from Space
Hog,
Hog, Royalston?
Who?
The guy from Space Hog who wound up marrying Liv Tyler.
Didn't he live there before me?
Was that like Royston or something?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was. I forgot. He never even slept there.
Oh, really?
That was the weird thing. He was only there a couple of days. I don't know. It was very strange. I knew him through his girlfriend.
What are they talking about?
Apparently, this wasn't an apartment. This almost sounded like a flop house almost. You know, like it was her apartment, but she just like rented out rooms or something.
Well, first of all, no one cares about all the people that she rented rooms to. And second of all, I thought they were interviewing Lydia Criss and not fucking Fran Drescher.
Exactly.
Jesus.
And I didn't know he married Liv Tyler.
I thought so.
Yes,
Did he marry
yes,
Liv
he
Tyler?
married.
Liv was not his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah,
No.
he married,
But he
had
was-
a child with her, and divorced her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend had something to do with Robert Stigwood's organization. I think her father worked for Stigwood or something, but she also had something to do with Sean Lennon.
Oh, okay. Robert Stigwood, of course, the famous.
She sounds like Kyle's mother on South Park. You know,
Right.
Kyle Bosblosky or whatever her name is.
Right.
That's what she sounds like.
Manager who worked with
The Bee Gees?
the Bee Gees and Clapton too, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
maybe. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
but she was like Sean Lennon's big sister in school.
Lots of name dropping here.
Yeah, big time.
Big time name dropping.
Look, when you don't have anything on your own career, then you fucking name drop other people's that you've met.
Right.
So he went to this the ethical cultural school on Central Park West, and she was his big sister. Like, I guess when they start, there's somebody that's a little older in a different grade, and I met her through Bob Gruen, who I work for. Bob Gruen, the famous Lennon
absolutely,
photographer.
Who took the cool picture that says with John Lennon with the New York City shirt?
T-shirt, and also Dressed to Kill.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
tons of.
yeah.
He went to Japan with you guys too, right?
He went to Japan both times.
Wow.
Both times,
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I still work for Bob.
Excellent.
Yeah, he won't let me quit.
And Lydia, besides being
I think that if they were going to have a live guest the way that they do,
Yeah.
they would have figured out that done some like mic checks prior to the show.
Stop it. Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you want clean audio, not something that's all distorted?
Wait, dude, this stuff's free. Why should they give? Oh, wait, it's not, is it? You have to donate.
Right.
celebrity in the Kiss world and being Peter's ex-wife and having the Sealed with a Kiss book, you are actually a professional photographer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was. I guess it was about 20 years I worked as a photographer. I worked in a photo agency. I took photos. Bob Gruen set me up with that too. Bob Gruen was one of the photographers I looked up to, and so was Barry Levine. Those were both Kiss photographers, and I mean, after I started working in the photo agency, I mean, I had many hats in that photo agency. I was a photographer. I was her bookkeeper, and also a good friend of hers, and we used to travel together. Virginia Lowe owned the agency, but Bob Gruen introduced me.
Oh, yeah, Jenny. I know her.
You know Jenny?
Yeah, she owned the agency, didn't she?
Yeah, that was Jenny.
Oh, okay.
But Bob ran it.
Right.
Interesting, cool. Now, Lydia, you just got back from Finland. Let's talk about what was going on over there.
Yeah, Finland was great. I mean, unfortunately, my luggage was lost, but, I managed.
Did they get it? Did you get it?
You just got back from Finland. Tell us what's going on over there. Finland was great. I lost my luggage.
Thanks. Look at Angel of Death. Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
It's like, what's going on over there? It was great.
Tell me everything that goes on in Finland. Oh, it was great.
I got it back eventually. Yeah, on my way home. So it's
right,
like I
so you
packed for
needed-
nothing.
Yeah.
And luckily, I bought a couple of T-shirts when I was in Paris with my when
Wow.
I was connecting flights.
Sure.
And basically, luckily I had my makeup with me, but I borrowed
Wow.
stuff from Joanne Scarlett. Richie Scarlett's wife, and he was Ace's guitar player in Fairly's Comet. And I made do. I was only there 2 days, so it wasn't that
Right.
big of a deal. It was in and out. I mean, I flew more than I was actually there.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
maybe about the same.
Yeah, I was just on one of the various.
So she didn't even answer the question.
Not at all.
He goes,
Why
you just
would she-
came back from Finland. What was going on over there?
Yeah, it was great. Except I lost my luggage.
And I had T-shirts, and I borrowed
Richie Scarlett's makeup.
Okay,
Something like that.
right? And
Nothing. There's nothing.
I'm kind of lost. What happened in Finland? Why were you even there?
Why would you want to know that?
I want to know. It's Lydia Criss, for Christ's sakes.
Well, I'm willing to bet the following is going to be John saying, well, in my travels with Ace,
Right.
that's what's going to follow.
Sure. Let's find out.
Websites, and it said recap of the convention over there, and I went, wow, Lydia went over there. That was
Yeah,
cool.
I took pictures, and they really, really. I mean, their stage show is bigger than ever, and I was very impressed. It's the first time I saw Kiss in about 15 years.
Wow. So it's the
Wow.
first time you've seen them with Tommy in
Yes.
Ace's makeup
Yes.
and Eric
Yes.
and Peter. Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you feel about that, those two wearing the classic makeup?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, Gene's a businessman, and he was smart enough to get Peter and Ace to sell them. I don't know if Ace actually sold his makeup, but the last time I spoke to Ace, he said he didn't. So I don't, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he, I believe, licenses it.
Yeah,
to
he
them.
licenses it. Yeah, that's
So
what he
then he
told
gets
me.
something
That's
from
what
them
he
when
told
they
me
do
the
it,
last
yeah.
time I spoke to him about it, and that was, back about. Probably 10 years ago, but Peter definitely sold his makeup, and
Wow.
that's Peter being stupid. What can I say?
Slam on the X.
Right, nice.
He was just being stupid.
And by the way, I'm suing him for giving up that piece of money that should have been mine.
Right. When those alimony payments stopped, I figured out something was wrong.
Right.
Found out he sold his soul to the devil.
That's right. He sure did.
So I wanted to just rewind a little bit because I want to talk about the Sealed with the Kiss book, but I also want to start out by talking about Lydia and I meeting, like literally probably around like 1991 or so.
Oh, this should be stunning.
Well, first of all, haven't we heard all these Lydia Criss stories previously from these dicks?
I think so.
Every one of them sounds familiar to me.
Right.
In New York, and we used to go to all kind of different concerts together. And I always tell this story. I say, when I first moved to New York, I didn't know anyone, like at all. Like, and I met Lydia, and I had met Ace previously, and Lydia really always like invited me up when it was a special day and made me food and all kind of cool stuff.
Well, I guess, and not that I care, but if you're really going to tell this story, why don't you tell how you happened to meet Lydia Criss?
Yeah, come on.
Not that you just moved to New York and you met her. It's just like, why did she find favor in you to where she would even consider going to a show or cook you food? Why?
Yeah, exactly. Was she trying to buy billboard space on your forehead?
No, 5-head.
5-head?
That would make at least mildly a more interesting story.
Yeah, but dude, see, this is what you never seem to realize. Them talking is all the more interesting they need.
Okay.
According to them.
Because as a listener, I'm sitting here, okay, well, what was the circumstances under which you came across Lydia Criss? Why?
But for God's sakes, dude, look at the level of listener they have.
I understand, but
Look at fucking Tim James.
Maybe I'm thinking too hard on this.
I think you are. I mean, Tim James. So all that needs to be said, he's a talking metal fan.
Sure.
I've been to John's apartment. He's been to my apartment.
Yeah.
I've cooked for him. I mean, we're very good friends. We used to always go out, because we both live in the city.
Okay.
We'd always go out to the China Club together, and he's a good friend of mine. And I used to run into him all the time, and backstage at Ace's concerts.
Yeah, and we used to go to shows together, and it was really fun.
All right. I mean, I've actually been to your parents'
Yeah,
house
I
and
know,
slept
yeah.
in your parents' bed.
Yep, exactly.
Wow, that's a little telling.
And do you think John banged her before he started liking men?
Something tells me there might have been a moment there of indiscretion.
Yeah. Wow.
Something.
I wonder if you just bring in a fucking gallon of water to pour into that fucking dried up snapper. Just trying to keep it moist with a little bit. It's well past the spray bottle at this point. It's well past lube.
Right.
You just need a fucking hose.
Sure.
That's probably what you have to do. Just hold a hose on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close Lydia and I, we just had like a great time. And I always tell the story that when I first came to New York, I was like a little kid away from home, and Lydia was so cool to me. And I still remember some of her best. All Lydia's food is amazing, by the way. But Paul Stanley, you told me, was in this.
Try the red snapper. It's the special of the house.
Dried red snapper.
It's like cookbook, and use your Caesar salad.
My Caesar,
recipe.
Yeah.
And didn't Michael Monroe like your Indian stuff?
Mike Monroe had dinner at my place, and I'm sure, I don't know.
I think you made like samosas or something.
I'm a good Indian cook.
Yeah.
I got a cookbook from Ian Hunter's wife.
Wow.
Ian Hunter was my best man at my second wedding, and Mike Monroe worked with my second husband. So it was around the same time, and I used to cook Indian food, or I still do, but I don't do it as often. But I make great Indian food. I mean, I make great Italian food.
Who fucking cares what kind of food you make?
Well, she makes great Indian food.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if she makes restaurant quality Indian food. Only thing important about her is what she used to do when she was fucking Peter Criss.
Right.
Everything else out of that doesn't matter.
So at what point did she divorce Peter Criss? Is this in the 70s?
I have no idea.
Because he's talking, meeting her years ago, and she's talking about second husband already.
Yeah, so it had to be late 70s, maybe 80.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the minute he got booted from the band.
Right.
Gold digging whore couldn't stand by.
Food, and I make great Chinese food. I took a course in Chinese cooking too.
That's cool, Lydia.
Yeah.
I have to try that. Now, to this day, I still get little containers, these plastic things that you get like wonton soup in. And because Lydia taught me this, I make a big thing of sauce, and then I put it in there and then freeze it.
Yeah.
Because Lydia could just pop out like one of these little things, and you got like
Wow, she's amazing.
Pasta and stuff like
Wow, she
someday I
saved
would love
sauce.
to bottle my sauce and
My
Oh,
sauce.
Lydia, you got to do that. I mean, people would go.
What is with this microphone? Are they just handing this around the table?
I think they are.
Oh my God.
Between that and this topic that's going nowhere.
He's like dead on the mic, and then he's like out in the distance, and then she's like out in the distance, and then she's on the mic, and it's just like, are they just passing one mic around?
Yeah, but why would you have this interview?
Well, because she's Lydia Criss.
So what?
Well, she's important, famous. She banged a former drummer who people haven't heard of in years. Who knows?
I guess.
Snatch is powerful. Just ask Angel of Death.
Mm-hmm.
Because hers talks.
I'd like to do some speech with it.
Talk dirty to me.
I'd like to have a little conversation with that.
Right.
Nuts over that, because here's the thing: some people some celebrities do like Bumblefoot does Bumblefoot hot sauce.
Oh, Bumblefoot.
Here's the thing, Lydia, you are a real cook. I'm not
I
saying
know.
Bumblefoot doesn't know how to make hot sauce, because maybe he's a hot sauce expert.
Now
Lydia,
he's back
you
on the
really,
mic.
truly know how to
Didn't
do Italian
Marky
food.
Ramone
Yeah, he got
did
sauce.
something,
Yeah.
and I would love to just, work it out maybe with this place, and
This is I don't know if we should say this, but we will. This restaurant we're in, I guess, is co-owned or owned by Lady.
Twister Girl, they had a tryst, gross, dried snapper.
Nathan in Kentucky, she had Peter Criss's cock in her vagina, mouth, and probably ass. She's important.
Right? She received that seed.
Yes, she did.
So she's forever famous.
She was the pussy in that cat.
That's it.
There it is.
it's owned.
Owned, okay.
Owned.
So it's a very high, I would call it kind of high class Italian joint,
Yeah.
and Lady Gaga is one of the owners, which you wouldn't really know from being in here. There are a few little hints, like there's a Dirty Pearls poster in the front, which is a band, a New York City band that she likes.
Well, I know she likes Kiss.
Yeah. She
I gave her
definitely
one
likes
of the
Kiss.
Ace books, through her mom.
Excellent.
Did you hear him?
I didn't hear exactly what he said. What did he say?
He gave Lady Gaga an Ace book through her publicist.
Oh, well, that went right in the trash.
Right.
Excellent, cool. And one quick little story that I wanted to share when I was living with Lydia and renting a room in her apartment. I came home one night and I came into the apartment, and there with Lydia and her boyfriend at the time was the one and only Ace. It was sitting there, and I had a Alice Cooper iron-on T-shirt, and I remember you were like, tell Ace where you got that Alice Cooper iron-on, and I was talking to Ace, and it was just so cool, because here I was this kid, really, my mid-20s, early 20s, I don't remember.
First of all, what mid-20s guy was wearing an iron-on T-shirt of anything? When you were 25, did you have any iron-on T-shirts?
No.
Okay, when you were 20, did you have any iron-on T-shirts?
Probably, maybe.
I don't even think I did. Not at 20. No way. I think that ended about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Losers.
And coming home and being able to meet my idol in the place I was currently
Wow.
living.
Yeah.
It was
That's amazing.
a story I tell quite often.
It's funny because I'm just oblivious to this stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many stories. Mark, I'm sorry, I'm going to butt in. See, we're now vying to tell our Lydia stories back to Lydia and all the Talking Metal listeners. But
So why even have her there?
Right.
If they're going to tell their stories, why the fuck do they need her?
Well, she's got to verify.
Yeah, I guess so. She can go, yeah,
I remember that too.
sauce, yeah, freezer.
Twister Girl, gay. Like a chick who gets the good humor.
Oh, yeah.
the funniest thing is Lydia has this couch. And Lydia, I was just telling somebody about the couch the other day. I'm still... How many years later, 20-some years later, talking about Lydia's couch. She has this couch that you can sit on, and you just automatically lay down, and then you will fall asleep. It is like the Most comfortable couch ever.
But just don't fall asleep face down because there are definitely love stains all over that thing.
And make sure the children aren't also on the couch.
Right, or you'll suffocate them.
I just like how he had to point out that she had this couch that you could sit on or lay down on.
Right.
That's something.
Because the couch that I have stands vertical in the corner, and you can't do either.
Yeah, I can't lay down or sit down on it.
I can,
Fucking idiot.
I can lean against it, though.
What an idiot. Look at Nathan from Kentucky. I like couches that you can sit on.
I do, too.
You can sit on this couch? What?
You know what? I'm looking over here in the studio, and I realize that this black leather couch I've had for almost 8 years has been standing up in the corner. I will bet you, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
if I set it down horizontal,
Yeah.
I might actually be able to sit on it.
You know what, dude? Let's stop the joking around here. I want you right now to get up, take your headphones off, get up, and go sit down on your couch.
Okay, hang on. Let me do that.
And let's just get your reaction. Make sure it's loud enough that people can hear it.
All right.
Give your reaction when you sit on this couch.
All right, hang on. Let me walk over there.
All right.
First, I gotta pull it down from the corner and put it horizontal, because now that I'm looking at it, I realize that it's sort of like at a 90-degree angle. And
Maybe it was the movers just put it in wrong.
That could be it too, because I did have brand new carpeting here when it was delivered. So I think maybe I thought it was just supposed to be that way.
Right.
But maybe they just put it up in the corner because they wanted to keep it out of the way for the carpenters.
It could have been.
And I just never thought to put it down horizontal.
Try it out, man.
Hang on. Let me go try it. Hang on.
All right, let's see.
To sell that, and I've been told don't do it by my second husband. Don't do
All
it
right,
by
I'm
my
putting it down.
ex-boyfriend.
Hang on.
And they said it is so comfortable, it's unbelievable. But you have no idea how
got
many
it on the
stars
floor.
have sat on that couch.
Yes, sat on it and or slept on it. That's one of the coolest
Slept
things.
and sat.
yeah.
Sat. Yeah.
I love that couch.
Ace was sitting on that couch.
Oh, Ace has fallen.
It actually
he has been
works. I'm
taken
actually sitting on the
literally
couch.
from clubs
What?
at night. And at 3 in the morning, the doorbell rings and it's Ace.
Dude, I'm gonna send an email to Talking Metal and let them know that had I not listened to this episode, I wouldn't have realized that this couch that's been standing in the corner for almost 8 years,
Yeah.
I can actually sit on it.
Dude, why don't you grab your phone and take a picture of you sitting on the couch? I mean, that's unheard of.
Really?
But yours is nowhere near as special because, as Mark just said, or John just said, but Ace sat on this couch.
Right.
That makes it cool.
Well, the only people who sat on this couch,
Yeah.
Lon Friend,
Yeah.
Don Dokken,
Right.
Billy McCarthy,
Right.
see,
And me.
and you,
Right.
sure.
This is
What
the years
idiots.
when he did drink, but now he doesn't. And slept there, and he'd be gone by the time I'd wake up in the morning. But that was he's my buddy. So what can I say?
The one other story about living with Lydia that I quickly want to share is one day I remember Lydia hanging up the phone and saying, that was Gene Simmons. He was talking to me about photos for a new book he's putting together, a book which would become Kisstory. And you were in a lot of contact with the Kiss guys back when I was living with you regarding that book. Did you supply a lot of photos to that book?
Well, the thing is, Gene wanted me to do an interview, but at that point I was selling photos of Kiss, and he stopped me from selling them, which was fine. I mean, I wasn't making, if I made $3,000, I was lucky. But we didn't have such a great conversation. And by the end of it, I didn't want to be. He wanted me to be interviewed for Kisstory, and I didn't want to be interviewed.
I had these photos I wanted to sell. He kept me from selling them. Then he wanted me to be interviewed for Kisstory, and that didn't go so well. And I didn't want to be interviewed because I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, you took my money from me. Now I can't make money off of your legacy.
Right.
So fuck you. I'm not going to be part of it.
Right. Twister girl. Her couch goes crackle pop.
Jesus.
Just due to the dried stains on it.
Yuck.
Crackle pop.
So we kind of had a little bit of a spat. But basically, I did eventually make up with Gene, and I did let him use any photo he wanted that was already out in that had already been published.
Right.
And so I let him, use anything he wanted, and they wound up using it as a collage in the back of the book.
Oh, very cool. Very
and
cool.
I remember seeing your name in history.
Yeah, my name is there, but the weirdest thing is, my name is like not even near my photos.
I think I remember that, where like the names were all listed.
I worked in a photo agency, and you're supposed to put the name near the photos, or at least put all the names together in one spot if you're not going to do it. But don't put it on a page where it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I think they did.
Jesus, you pushy bitch.
Right, very demanding.
Yeah, put them where I fucking think they should be.
Don't put them on a page that doesn't even relate to me.
Yeah, doesn't matter that it's your project. You don't get to fucking pick where my name goes.
Right.
That to some other photographers too. They just put the
they
names
did
in
it
like
to
random
Bob.
places.
They did it to Bob Gruen. They did it to Chuck Pullen.
Wow.
We were all told by Gene, if you want a photo in the book, you can have it, but you can't tell me how much to pay you. Gene says, I will pay you X amount of dollars, and you could have any amount of photos. So that X amount of dollars was actually minimal for the amount of photos he used of mine. I told him to use everything. I mean, Bob said use one photo.
Wow. Yeah, what just called Gene a cheap Jew? Why don't you just come right out and say it?
Come on. That's not very nice.
Just come out and say it.
No. Because she still has photos that she might want to sell them.
Right.
Chuck said maybe used two, so I was very generous with them. And I said, as long as you don't use anything that's not in print already, and he did. Of course he did.
Oh, he did that. He used that.
Yeah, but, he wanted to pay for it, eventually.
Very interesting. Now, your book came out in 2006, and it has since been released as a second edition with bonus material. How long did it take you to put this book together? Was this something that had been, in the works for many, many years, or can you talk a little bit about the backstory behind Sealed with a Kiss?
Okay. Originally,
pretty relevant here on a book that
any
came out in
intention of
2006.
doing a book. I mean, the reason why I collected everything was to sit around in my old age on a rocking chair with Peter, and we would just like reminisce about the good old days. That never happened, and I used to bring my scrapbooks to the Kiss conventions, and the fans used to go berserk. They went nuts seeing the old photos, of Kiss without makeup and all. So I was pushed by Kiss fans to do a book. I mean, I had someone that was a publisher. He basically published a few books, small-time publisher, and then he went out of business. And he went bankrupt, and so I had already started I had done my text, and that took me about a year and a half to do. I mean, I was working a full-time job. My father had cancer, so I was going back and forth, I mean, I would edit on the train. I would do my, my little editing on the way home, and then I would start all over when I got home. And so I finally presented him. I started in, I think, the beginning of 98, and then by the end of 97, and then by 99, I presented my manuscript. And like I said, he went out. He went bankrupt, so I had to get everything back. He already had some of my photos that were already scanned but never paid for. So I hooked up with the guy that scanned my stuff, because he deserves what he did. And
well, what did he deserve?
Who knows? This bitch just sounds like fucking a penny pinching cheap cunt.
She said she hooked up with a guy that scanned her photos, and he deserved it. So what did she give him?
Who knows? $20.
I'm thinking something more personal.
Yeah, little head.
Yes,
Little granny head.
nice. Oh, God. Well, Lydia's quite a gal.
She is. She's something. We should get her on our show. Except no chance in hell.
Right. I'd rather talk to Kyle's mom.
As the advocates, he just basically guided me through the whole thing. Dave Snowden, who's a great friend of mine still to this day. And
isn't that the guy who sold out the FBI?
It's the NSA. Yeah.
Isn't that the same guy?
His name's Snowden.
Maybe they should be talking to Lydia Criss. Maybe she knows something.
Maybe.
Wow. Well, I've heard about all I want to hear about Lydia.
Yeah, I'm done with Lydia.
Lydia has nothing to share.
No, and neither do these two dicks.
With their horrible audio.
Their horrible audio and their worse ability at doing an interview.
Twister Girl wants to let you know, head is head.
Well, Twister Girl, anytime you'd like to prove that.
Nice.
I'd like to be a willing participant.
Right.
I've got the penis if you've got the mouth.
Right. Very nice. Well, next week, dude, we're going to Wisconsin to see Van Halen, Rat, Dokken, and Jackal.
Yes.
So what do we got for the fans?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, I don't know. You're the guy who has always got something going on.
I'm not doing anything this week because of the trip. So, I'm trying to stay in and save some money so that I'll have enough money to go. But I don't know. You want to record one, or you want to just say fuck it?
No, I'd be glad to record one, depending on your time.
The only day I have anything going on is Tuesday, so we could record one. Record on Wednesday.
Okay.
And all right, so if we're going to record one here's how it's going to work. We're either going to record one or we're not. If we record one, the guests will be Scorpion Child and Paul Shortino. If we don't record one, you're going to get something from 2008. How's that?
All right. Whatever works.
Yeah. We'll make sure the chat room's open.
Well, either way, you're going to get a show, whether it's new, pre-recorded, or a best of.
Now, something I was thinking about doing, and I'll just do this real quick and see what you think. We've got the Spreaker app. Should we do some, we can, as you found out, we can broadcast live.
Yes, we can broadcast live through the Spreaker.
And you and I can both broadcast live from our iPhones from the Spreaker app.
Right.
So should we maybe do some live broadcasting just from, some like podcast exclusive stuff during the day that people can get on Saturday if they want to?
Anything's possible.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun, doesn't it?
Sure.
Because we'll be hanging backstage with fucking Dokken and Rat and probably Jackal and maybe Van Halen. Who knows? But,
right.
That would be kind of cool.
Well, we would basically be doing it like Anime Girl and Heavy Metal Dad.
Yeah,
because
sure.
they basically recorded in their car through the Spreaker.
That's right. Table cake.
So, yeah. Well, anything's possible. I guess we could work that out.
So I'll tell everybody to go to our Spreaker on Saturday, and we'll see if we upload some stuff or not.
Sure.
Could be fun.
Well, we'll see what we come up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. All right. Well, next week is an iffy show. Don't know. We can't give you a definite for what's happening, but
right.
Where we're going to be. We're going to be in Wisconsin, so.
Right. We will not be live.
No.
That's a given.
Right. So, Van Halen, Dokken, Jackal, Rat. That's what we're doing.
Bad Vocal Fest.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Great Guitar Fest.
Sure.
Sorry. Glass half full now.
Nice. All right. Well, we want to thank our guest tonight.
Jack Antonio.
Antonio for being a good sport, for coming on the show.
You think you know Jack?
Yep. And he was a good dude. I liked having him on, and he got, he gets what we do.
Yeah, he was good.
And then I like our guitarist friend from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Xander Demos.
Demos?
He said Demos.
Demos.
So I'll go with what he said.
Okay. And he was a good dude as well.
Certainly.
Definitely not pretentious in any way and seemed very, very glad to be on the show. And I like the guy. So
seemed like a nice guy.
Sure. And blah, blah, blah. And I know you're kind of wearing down over there. I can hear it in your voice.
You can hear me coughing every 2 seconds.
I can hear it.
I really am sick, but I made it through. So.
You did. I commend you, sir.
I'm going to sleep till fucking noon tomorrow, but okay.
All right. So we're going to get out of here. Something will happen next Saturday. Not exactly sure when, where, and how, but something.
Yeah, well, you'll get something.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to leave you with some Xander Demos.
No, I sent you a tune.
Oh, that's right. You did. I'm sorry. Well,
I have a tune that I want to go out with this week, and it's definitely CMS appropriate. For my local friends here, and you remember this. I have a friend that was a cop, and he was killed 1,000 feet from my house. 5 years ago today. His name is Josh McTarian. He was a good friend of me personally and of all my radio projects and shit. And just a good dude, man. Today's like the 5-year anniversary of his death, so it's like I figured he was in a band, and I figured we'd end by playing one of his tunes. But I went dirty with one of his dirty tunes.
Okay.
Just to make it fun. And I think we actually played the same tune on the first anniversary of his death, but I don't know. Was a very close friend to me, so for a change, I'm gonna step in and play one.
Sure.
So this would be, the band was called Barium, and the tune is a happy little number called Fuckface.
Nice. All right. Well, until next time we get on Mike Live, we're gonna get out of here. So here it is. This is Barium. So this is Neeley, along with my very good friend
Chris Agan.
And we're gone.
Bye, kids.
Waiting of you left today. Thank God for the little things. I never thought it possible. Be free from you. Finally, my place is a dull space on my fuck face. dee da bomba 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 dee da dee da happy trails to you. Bomba dee da bomba dee da bomba dee da bomba. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
What is it that makes you like us? Is it our atmosphere? Is it the music we play? Is it our girls? Is it our DJs? Or is it our lousy beer? Whatever it is, the management would like to thank you for your custom and wish you all a safe journey home tonight and hope to see you all again soon.
The DJ has now left the building.
Thanks for listening to the Classic Metal Show. Check out replays of the Classic Metal Show throughout the week at www.cmsradionetwork.com or on any of our fine affiliates. Tune in next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Classic Metal Show live with Neeley and Chris.
This is the way it is.
Ta-ta, cats.